In this video, I'm going to discuss how to properly sterilise your grain spawn in a pressure cooker. I'm going to cover two types of pressure cookers. The first one is going to be the Presto 23 quart, and that is the type of pressure cooker which comes with a little weight like this. This little weight just fits on the valve here and it builds the pressure up to 15 psi. The second pressure cooker I'm going to discuss is this tower pressure cooker here, which has a handle and a small dial for setting the pressure. It's a little bit smaller, I think it's about 9 litres. Realistically, the large pressure cooker costs around the same amount as the smaller pressure cooker, so if you were going to choose one, I would go with the larger one, but some people don't have the space, so this smaller 9 litre model will do for people just wanting to do PF tech or small amounts of work. So first thing you want to do is check that everything is in good order with your pressure cooker, so check the rubber seal, make sure that's in good working order, make sure that it's clean underneath this seal here, and check that all the fittings are still tight by just giving them a quick turn and making sure that they are not loose. Next, what you want to do is line the bottom of the pressure cooker. This keeps the jars off the bottom and avoids them overheating and cracking. If you don't have a rack to line the bottom, then you can just put jar lids on the bottom and then place the jars on top of the jar lids, but most pressure cookers should come with a rack, so just use that. Next, you just want to add some water. The minimum for a 23 quart pressure cooker is 3 quarts, which is around 3 litres. It's probably a good idea to move your pressure cooker onto your hob before you start adding water and stuff in, and definitely before you put your jars in because it can get heavy. So put it on your hob and then add your water in. Okay, so I just want to talk you through jar lids quickly. So if you've got a basic jar lid like this and then you're putting micro pour tape over the hole, then it's a good idea to put tin foil over the top of these lids because you just don't want the top getting wet. To the left, that's a felt lid. Again, I would put tin foil over the top of that to avoid it from getting wet and then ruining. The jar on the left has a synthetic filter, so you don't need to put tin foil over that lid there. However, I only use these lids when I'm using large grains like wheat, because if you use millet with the gas exchange filter like this, sometimes the millet can get stuck in the gas exchange filter and then it'll choke out your jars. The other type of filter I use is a synthetic filter lid like this. You don't necessarily need to put tin foil over the top of this type of lid, but I still like to put tin foil over this type of lid so that I can keep it in the best condition possible. Okay, so you want to put your jars inside your pressure cooker now. Remember, put your pressure cooker on your hob before you put all the stuff inside of it. And you just want to space them out slightly, make sure there's some space between them. If you've got tin foil on the lids, make sure that there's a gap between the tin foil on the lids and the outside of the pan. Put the lid on the pressure cooker next, and then make sure that your pressure cooker is over the top of the highest hob possible. Remove the pressure regulator weight and then put this to the side because you want to do a 10-minute vent at the start, and I'll talk about that in a moment. So for my hob, I put it on the highest heat possible. You'll have to work this out on your own hob the first time you run it, but I recommend putting it on the highest heat. And also you want to center the pressure cooker across the hob so that the heat is distributed evenly. Okay, so leave it to heat up now, and what will happen is the pressure cooker will start ejecting air out of this valve here. This little piece at the back here will pop up when the pressure has built. This little rubber safety stopper at the front will also expand and it will start to push out. If the pressure in your pressure cooker builds too high, then this will pop out and the whole thing will depressurize, but that's just a built-in safety mechanism for this unit. So the heat inside the pressure cooker is built now, and as you can see, steam and air are starting to escape through the valve here. This is the venting stage, and you want to keep venting until the steam creates a large continuous cone like this. And once that happens, you can put your timer on for 10 minutes and then put your weight on. The reason we do this is because we want to get a pure steam environment inside the pressure cooker. That will guarantee that your pressure cooker is hot enough to sterilize your grains fully. Now that we've put the weight on the valve, the pressure inside will build. You want to leave your hob on hot, and it will push the pressure above 15 psi, and then leave it for about 5 minutes, and then turn the heat down on your hob, and the pressure will then stabilize and stay at 15 psi for the full length of your sterilization cycle. So now set your alarm for 1 hour and 30 minutes and leave your pressure cooker alone. So once your alarm goes off, turn the hob off and allow the pressure cooker to cool down and depressurize. And normally I just come back to it the next day when everything's cooled off. Okay, so for the second pressure cooker, the basic principles are the same, except for I like to use a smaller hob and less water. So make sure that you do your checks beforehand. Line the pressure cooker with your steaming rack. Add around 2 quarts of water, or approximately 2 litres of water. Put your contents on top of the steaming rack and then close the pressure cooker. Turn the hob on high and turn the dial onto the steaming option. So this will allow you to vent for 10 minutes in the same manner as we did with the Presto. Once there's continuous stream coming out of this vent here, you can turn the dial onto the high pressure setting. So turn the dial onto the high pressure setting and then leave it for about 10 minutes. And finally turn down the hob to the low setting, and what will happen is this red pressure indicator should stay lifted, which means that the pressure has built and is maintaining. Steam will then trickle out of the vent. It'll be much quieter than it was when it was on the steam setting. This is fine, just leave it, put your timer on, and then come back to it once your timer's finished. Turn the heat off when the timer's up, let it depressurize, and then take your jars out when everything's cooled down. Hopefully this was straightforward for you. This is a bit of a beginner's video, so just bear with me. I've got some better content coming soon if you're a subscriber.